Hi, this is Father Bill, friend of Dr. Bob's here in Austin, Texas, and welcome back. We're doing a series on the steps. Our question is, can the pioneers teach us some things about approaching these steps, doing these steps, that might make them simpler, more helpful, easier to understand, and in the end, maybe even help bring about a better transformation, which I think is a whole result of what the 12-step process is about. And Dr. Bob, one of the reasons I really like him so much is the last thing he said to Bill before he passed away was, Bill, keep this thing simple. Don't louse it up with a lot of Freudian stuff. And I'm afraid that over the years, we may have done exactly that. The steps, as they were originally presented, were just trying to take some ideas, some processes that people had gone through. They went through them very quickly on their way to having the change, the deep enough change that could bring about recovery from alcoholism. I know I complicated the hell out of them before I learned some of this history. And so that's what I want to share with you today is how this could be helpful on step 3. I'm going to do a little two-parter. And first one, I want to go back to pick up on Clarence Snyder. You know, last video we talked about him in the hospital and how Dr. Bob came up and talked to him and took him through step 2 in about 20-25 seconds. And I want to pick up today on step 3 and go back to Clarence in that hospital room. And here's another story about what happened when Bob came in and took him through step 3. Listen how quickly it goes. Doc said, "Get out of that bed." Clarence was shocked. He asked, "For what?" Doc replied, "You're going to pray." Clarence pleaded with him. "Enough was enough. I don't know anything about praying," Clarence said. "I don't suppose you do, but you get down there and I will pray. You can repeat it after me, and that'll do for the time." Doc then took Clarence by the hand and hauled him off of that nice warm nest, as Clarence put it, and down to the cold, hard concrete floor. Clarence in his shorty hospital nightshirt, tied together in the back by a couple of strings. Doc in a suit with a loud-colored tie, argyle socks, and a diamond stick pin with a lion's head. Got the picture? What a sight to behold, the author says. Both men on their knees by the side of the hospital bed in an attitude of prayer. Doc uttered some short form of prayer, pausing every few words so that Clarence had the time to repeat them. Clarence didn't quite remember the words of the prayer exactly, but he did remember its being something like this. "Jesus, this is Clarence. He's a drunk. Clarence, this is Jesus. Ask him to come into your life. Ask him to remove your drinking problem and pray that he manages your life because you are unable to manage it yourself." After they had concluded this simple prayer, they rose from the side of the bed. Doc shook Clarence's hand and said to him, "Young feller, you're going to be all right." Short, simple, to the point. Step 3. Next week, we'll talk about how we can complicate the hell out of that sucker. Hope this is helpful to you. Keep coming back. Love you. Bye-bye.